the Washington football team with the 19th overall pick, in their faces, they had Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, JOK, sitting there at 19, staring at their faces. And I think I can speak for the NFL world, myself, and Washington fans. We all thought it was going to be the pick. Anybody that followed the draft, pre-draft, thought that if JOK was there for Washington, they were going to pick him at 19 because they need a linebacker. And JOK looks like the perfect fit. Is a great tackler, is great in coverage, and they went with Jamin Davis, a linebacker out of Kentucky. And I think that move shocked a lot of people. You know, I'm high on Jamin Davis, but to take him over Owusu-Koramoah, I thought that was a bit crazy.
Yeah, and it's interesting because you look at JOK, he looks like the prototypical linebacker. You know, he looks definitely like the guy we thought Washington was going to take. I guess taking Jamin Coleman was, you know, a guy
Jamin Davis,
a guy who was better in pass coverage. I guess that was the idea. But like you said, we were all confused. You know, you look at that defensive line, the defensive line is set. The secondary, I think, is pretty much set. And we thought the linebacker was going to be next up. And we thought JOK was going to be the guy they're going to take. But, you know, this draft surprised us a lot. And I think that was one of the most surprising picks. I think his Kentucky tape showed that he has the tools to be a great tackler. I know it showed that he wasn't at times, but he's already great in pass coverage. He just needs to bulk up some things in the tackle, and I think he can be that guy. That versatility gets to him. He just needs a little bit of footing, and I think that's what they've seen in him, a guy who has potential to be better than JOK.
See, for me, I think sometimes in a draft, teams make the mistake of looking at what this guy looks like versus how he plays like. And if you watch the tape, I think it's not even close. Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah is a better player than him. He's a better tackler. He has a higher motor. He is always on go. And he's the best coverage linebacker in this class. Not to take away from Jamin Davis, because I think that the football team did get a pretty good linebacker in him. But I had him more as a day 2 pick than the first rounder. But Owusu-Koramoah is 6'1", 216 pounds. Jamin Davis is 6'4", 234 pounds. He ran a 4.41 and a 4.37 at his pro day. In college, when they faced Florida, Kentucky faced Florida, Jamin Davis covered Kyle Pitts pretty well. So I think that's what got Washington super excited. Ron Rivera and them, Jack Del Rio, super excited because this guy, I mean, when you look at his physicals, I mean, 6'4", 235 can run as fast as the fastest receiver on your team. I mean, that's rare athletic ability. But on tape, when you watch him, he is a timid tackler. And I think the football team needs a linebacker that can not only cover, but that can be really formidable in the run game and stopping the run. And for me, I just don't know if that's Jamin Davis right now. You know, I think Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah was better, but I can understand, you know, when you're 6'1", 216, you're basically like a strong safety or a free safety. You know, you have like a strong safety weight and height. So maybe they didn't trust him that much and thought maybe Owusu-Koramoah might have gotten bullied at the next level. So that's why they trusted Jamin Davis a little bit more.
I think that was one of the things that kind of slid Devontae Smith, you know, physique, you know, his weight, his size. I think that's what when scouts go in, they look at your physique and what you can do at that size. And I think although JOK he was better and he can do a lot more. The fact that what's his name? Jamin Davis, he can do what JOK can do, just not as good, but he's also bigger and stronger. So I guess that's the thing that intrigued him. And it's something that also happens in the NBA. Physical tools tend to blind scouts in a way and decide that, okay, this is the guy who we're going to go with because his physique is just something that we just can't ignore. And I think a lot of that went a lot into other positions in this draft. But like you said, this is a guy who's still good. He can still do a lot of things. He is a timid tackler, but with his size, has a chance to be an elite tackler. He's good in pass coverage. And with a conference that sees George Kittle, Kyle Rudolph, Evan Ingram, Dallas Goedert, like these Zach Ertz, these are people he's gonna see a lot. So this is a position that they need to play coverage. And I think this is a guy who can come in with the size and definitely improve and get better. This defense has a lot of elite talent. They can definitely get him to that level. He has to be there and have that high motor to be better. Yeah,
and because Washington is already elite on defense, I think, they had some leeway in taking a guy that, has some risk to him. I wouldn't have even minded if they took Caleb Farley and had an elite secondary if, Farley does live up to his potential. But, of course, they took Jamin Davis, and I think they do have the leeway to make a move like this because they are not desperate for a linebacker. Even if Jamin Davis doesn't pan out, their defense will still be elite. So this is not a make-or-break move for Washington. I know a lot of people might have wanted JOK over Jamin Davis, but Jamin Davis is still a good player, maybe a little bit overdrafted, but it doesn't matter. As long as you go in and produce, nobody will care where you're drafted. So hopefully he does that for Washington.
I agree.